Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea from Shiv Khera's book, You Can Win. We're going to break down the one fundamental shift that honestly separates the winners from everyone else.
And it all starts with this quote right here. This is the whole foundation. See, success isn't about some secret trick or a hidden action nobody else knows about. It's about changing your entire approach, your attitude.
Because, before you can do anything differently, you have to think differently. It all kicks off right inside your own head.
Khera tells this great little story to illustrate the point. Just picture this. There's a guy at a busy fair selling balloons of all different colors. And whenever business gets a little slow, he's got this clever trick. He lets one of the helium balloons go, and as it floats up into the sky, all the kids see it and come running over, wanting one for themselves. But then, one day, a little boy comes up and tugs on his jacket. He's just been watching quietly, and he asks this really thoughtful question, It's deeper than just what color he wants.
And the seller's answer, well, is the core message of the entire book. It's not our outside appearance, or our background, or our circumstances that decide if we succeed. It's what's inside of us, our attitude. That's what gives us that lift.
Now, this isn't just a nice story. It's a principle that's actually backed up by some serious research. In fact, the data shows that your attitude is the absolute bedrock of your success.
So, a major study out of Harvard University wanted to find out what really helps people get hired and succeed at their jobs. And what they found, the key insight, really boiled down to this one number, 85%. But what does it stand for?
It stands for attitude. A massive 85% of job success comes from a person's attitude. Only 15% comes from their technical skills, the facts and figures they know. Just let that sink in. The huge majority of what makes someone successful isn't what they know, but how they approach everything.
And this is where things get really interesting. There's this huge disconnect, right? Our entire education system is focused almost 100% on that little 15%. The facts, the figures, the hard skills. And that massive 85% that actually drives success, we kind of just leave it up to chance.
Okay, so if attitude is that important, we can't just sit around and hope we have a good one. We have to be intentional. We have to build it. But how do you do that?
Well, Khera gives us a really clear, actionable plan. First, you have to consciously change your focus and look for the good in things. Second, you've got to break that habit of procrastination. Third, cultivate an attitude of gratitude. And last but not least, you have to protect your mindset from negative influences. So let's quickly touch on these.
Step 1 is all about becoming a good finder. I love this analogy from Andrew Carnegie. He said, dealing with people is like digging for gold. You have to move tons and tons of dirt just to find one little ounce. But you're not looking for the dirt, you're looking for the gold. That's how we should approach people and situations. Then step 2 is about kicking procrastination to the curb. An unfinished task is like an energy vampire. It just drains you. Building that do-it-now habit saves you from regret down the line.
Step 3 is about developing gratitude. This is huge. It means consciously counting your blessings instead of adding up your problems. It completely shifts your perspective from what you don't have to what you do have. And finally, step 4 is about guarding your mind. It's simple, really. Just like we try to eat good food to nourish our bodies, we have to feed our minds with positive influences. The people we hang out with, the books we read, the stuff we watch.
And when you get that positive attitude going, it lets you completely reframe two of the biggest forces in life, success and failure. So first, let's redefine success. It's not some finish line you cross and then you're done. No, it's the journey. It's the progressive realization of a goal that you personally believe is worthy. It's all about the process, not the destination.
This quote just nails the new role of failure. Tom Watson Sr., the former CEO of IBM, he got it. He knew that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a critical part of it. The more you try, the more you fail, the more you learn on that journey toward your goal. It's fuel. And honestly, there is no better example of this than Abraham Lincoln. Just look at this timeline. It is basically a highlight reel of what most of us would call crushing failures. But for Lincoln, he saw each one as just a detour, not a dead end. His story wasn't about avoiding failure. It was a masterclass in persevering through failure.
So, at the end of the day, all of this really comes down to a choice. It's a conscious decision you have to make every single day about how you're going to see the world.
And this slide just lays out the two paths so clearly. I mean, look at the language. The winner is always looking for answers and making real commitments. The loser?
They just see problems everywhere and make empty promises. It's a totally different way of looking at the exact same world. A winner steps up, while a loser just says, not my job.
And this brings us right back to the most important takeaway of all. The balloon seller was right. It's not the color of the balloon, it's what's inside. You can't always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose your attitude about it.
Ultimately, it all begins in your mind. It starts with that simple but incredibly powerful belief that you can. So as we wrap this up, the real question isn't about what you're going to do next. It's about what you're going to choose to think. Because that choice, that's all yours.